Hey, you guys, look at that face. Just look at that face. Do you know women hold 2/3 of the student loan debt in America? And now they're talking about they don't want to pay it? Let's see what these knuckleheads got to say.
So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you how to avoid getting your paycheck garnished and your tax returns garnished. The only way they know where you work is from your tax return. So that means switching your job every so often.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
My paychecks were getting garnished at one point, and then I switched my job and I didn't tell them that, and they didn't find me. And then when they did find me, I got another job. And then at that job, they were calling our Google Voice phone number, which was not being manned. And who was checking the mail at that job? That startup job? Oh yeah, that was me. And I didn't even see anything come in, but even if something had come in, nobody was checking the mail. So then they also garnish your tax return. So make sure you're getting the minimum amount withdrawn. And then when they find you at your new job, get a new job. I did this for like 5 years, and then COVID happened. And like, I don't know if this is widely known, but they've laid off like a lot of people from the IRS. So I think people are freaking out about this a little too soon, because you need people, like, I don't understand how they're going to be able to collect this money. Especially if you worked at any disorganized place like I did, where like the phones aren't being answered. The mail is not being checked. On top of the IRS and the government having to have their shit together, your job also has to have their shit together, which I just don't think any of these corporations' shit is together.
And the bottom of my casket will have a file cabinet for all these student loans to rest in heavenly peace. That's how much I owe in student loans. How much money I owe in student loans. Damn! Now let me provide you with some additional information, since I know that this video is going to go viral because people are cruel and a lot of people are going to be ready to attack me in the comments and judge me and do whatever they got to do to feel good about themselves. I am a proud 25-year-old with over $100,000 in student loan debt. I went to school. I got a free associate degree through the early college program. I then furthered my education and got 2 additional degrees. I have a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship with a minor in management, and I have a master's degree in organizational leadership. But one thing America doesn't know about me is that I have 1 additional degree that's not on file and it's not in the records anywhere, and that's a law degree. At any given point, I'm prepared to take the stand and explain why I cannot afford to pay a dime on them student loans. Baby, you ain't never seen a sharp, undegreed attorney like me ever in your life. It's my time to shine. And the bottom of my casket will have a file cabinet for all these student loans to rest in heavenly peace.
This is day 1 of me not paying any money towards my student loans today. Yes, I have student loans. Yes, I need to get current on them. But did I pay anything today? Nope. I did not. And guess what? It's going to be okay. So if you can like this, comment, share, please help me so I can start monetizing this account. I would love you forever. See you later.
So Donald Trump is now putting into place that he wants student loans to be paid back starting in May. And I just want to say, don't pay those student loans. Don't pay your student loans. If you're confused about what to do, honestly, just enroll back in school. Like, just re-enroll. And the longer you're enrolled in school, you know, your payments are deferred. Just keep getting those degrees. I just feel like that's the solution to the problem, because who's going to pay these loans? And in all seriousness, if you do get them deferred, you have like 6 months to like a year before you actually do have to start paying them back. I would recommend like working for nonprofit organizations. But those nonprofits, most of them will start to begin to pay your student loans back. There is a website that you can also go on to apply to have your loans forgiven. So that is an option as well. But in the meantime, honey, just re-enroll for the summer semester or re-enroll for the fall semester. It doesn't matter. Get those loans deferred. Nobody's paying him. No. Mm-mm.
I'm not paying my student loans. The government keeps threatening all these things they're going to do to people if they don't pay their student loans. I don't think they realize we don't care. We don't have enough to care. We don't care about credit scores anymore. We don't care if you siphon our paychecks. We're just going to quit and move on to the next company, because that company was probably going to fire us anyway. People don't stay at jobs like they used to. People aren't locked in to a job they have to stay at for 35 years because they're getting a pension and great benefits. Those things don't happen anymore. So if you threaten to siphon people's paychecks, they're just going to quit and go to another company because that company was probably going to go bankrupt anyway and fire everybody in the next couple months. This is going to be so much work for the government to siphon paychecks, and it's not going to get them enough money. They're going to end up losing money because they're going to have to hire thousands of people to try and get this money from people that don't have it. They're going to end up spending more money than they get in the long run. So these empty threats that they're giving us, they aren't scaring us. If the government's watching, it doesn't scare us. We don't have enough for that to scare us. So I won't pay the hospital then if you take my student loans out of my check. It's one or the other. We pay our health care and our medical bills, or we pay our student loan bills, or our credit cards, or our loans. Like, we can't pay it all. We're not making enough to pay it all. We're not sitting back and living in mansions, going on 20 vacations a year like the billionaires and saying, I don't want to pay my student loans. That's not it. We literally can barely afford life. We're just choosing which bills to pay.
Just no accountability at all. Nobody told you to go to school and rack up debt and get a degree that nobody's checking for in liberal arts, and now you don't want to pay for your student debt. Just typical entitlement.
About it. Because I can't afford it. I don't know what you're going to take from me, but whatever you take, that means I'm not going to pay something else because I don't have that kind of money. My job just doesn't pay that. It just doesn't. I'm not paying my student loans.
Why I'm not paying off my student loans as an MBA grad making $200K a year.
An MBA grad making $200K a year trying to finesse the system. You can't make this shit up.
I'll pay them off eventually, but here's why I'm not in a rush to do it. Let's say I took out a $100K loan and that I have 10 years to pay it back at a 6% interest rate. Let's also say that I have $100K sitting in my bank right now that I can use to pay back my loans, if only. The simple thing to do would be to take that $100K and pay off my loans, right? Think again. If I take my $100K to pay off the loan, I'm debt-free, but I also now have $0. If I invest my $100K, I'll make $160K in 10 years from compounding returns. Over the same time period, I need to pay back $135K on my loan principal and interest. Let's do the math. 160 minus 135 equals $25,000 that I made from not paying off my student loans immediately. Vivian from Your Rich BFF posted a video the other day about how we need to change the narrative on debt, because when rich people have debt, it's called leverage, and we celebrate them. So if you have student loans, you're not in debt, you're just levered.